Hi everybody, this is Jose coming to you from the Base Library. Today we're going to be reading for our story time, virtual story time, Perfectly Norman. And the author is Tom Percival. There's our buddy. Perfectly Norman. Now, Norman had always been normal, perfectly normal, until one day, he is with his friends there, and there's with his little puppy. He grew a pair of wings. Look at that. Norman had imagined growing taller, or even growing a beard like his dad, but he never imagined growing a pair of wings. Still, they were here now, so he decided to test them out right away. Soon Norman was swooping around and generally having the most fun ever. There he is flying around with the birds. He had to go home in for dinner. You see, Norman had always been so normal, he didn't know how his parents would feel about his extraordinary wings. You hear them calling him for dinner down here? As he went in, Norman covered himself with a great big coat. His parents didn't notice the wings, but they did think it was odd for him wearing a coat indoors. Bath time was problematic. So was bedtime. The coat was hot and uncomfortable, but Norman had decided that no one should see his wings. This little puppy saw him, I think. The next day, Norman went to the park, but he was far too hot to play any of his favorite games. And so it went. Oh, how sad he looks there. All his buddies are playing. Long car journeys were unbearable. The swimming pool was dreadful. And that was nothing compared to his friend's birthday party. Oh, how sad he looks there. The only time that Norman could feel normal now was when it rained. See? One day a boy tried to pull off his coat, and Norman had to run, hot-faced, angry, and sad. He wished he had never grown those stupid wings. Then he saw some birds high up in the sky, and he remembered the joy of his first flight. It occurred to Norman that it was the coat that was making him miserable, not the wings. See the birds? "Why won't you take off that scruffy old thing?" suggested his mom and dad. Norman looked up at them hesitantly. His parents smiled and nodded. Norman smiled back. Then he threw off the coat and let his wonderful wings fan out. See how pretty his wings are? Norman leaped into the air. Finally, he was free of that coat. He noticed a few other children wearing thick, heavy coats of their own. They looked up at Norman and around at one another nervously. They see him? There was a moment's pause, and then, whoosh! The sky was filled with flying people. Norman had never been so happy. Look at him with all his new buddies up there. He realized that there was no such thing as perfectly normal. But he was perfectly Norman, which was just as it should be. And that's our book, Perfectly Norman, by Mr. Tom Percival. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.